Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm an actor in Prom Fever. Sure. So I can't even remember how I found out about NYFA because I applied in 2019. But obviously COVID happened, so I deferred the course for a year. But I remember it was back in the day when auditions were not over Zoom. So I went to Greenwich School and auditioned with about 300 other people. And it was fun, and we had improv games. There were no masks. We were all up in each other's faces. It was really lovely. I never thought I would have said that, but I do miss those kind of auditions. And yeah, then this year I thought I was very excited because things were opening up. I thought, great, we do National Youth Film Academy, make a film, and here we are. We've been doing a few things in terms of marketing, so obviously trying to kind of raise money with the crowdfunder, but we've also started rehearsals, which is quite fun. It's been a while since I've done the acting thing, so kind of just getting back and rehearsing with the other actors and interacting with them has been new because it is online. So, it's a bit strange because obviously I just mentioned about the audition of kind of being in the same space as other people. So it's finding a new way to kind of act, which is fun, it's challenging, but, learning to become a little bit more versatile, and just getting to know the other actors as much as possible, because then obviously we'll be kind of forced, not forced to make a film, but we'll be we won't be able to escape from each other for about 7 days. So good to kind of build the bonds now, so that, we have great relationships when we are filming on set. The challenges, so I play Mrs. Arden, and she is a young teacher who is on breaking point. So she goes to 3 very different places. She starts off very, I guess, Miss Honey from Matilda. And then she becomes kind of, Alien v Predator. And then she becomes, a absolute mess at the end. So because it is an ensemble cast, because we have, 4 days to shoot. And I think Rachel, our DOP, mentioned we've probably got 2 or 3 takes. It means just having to go to these very extreme places very quickly. And being able to kind of transition from one to the other. So I think that would be the challenge. I'm up for it though, but I think that would be the challenge. Gosh, I think just getting back into acting. So I haven't acted in about 5 years. So just really getting back into acting and getting back in front of the camera and having fun while doing it. Because I think particularly when you come back into acting or when you haven't done it before, sometimes you can put a lot of pressure on yourself or the project you're working on. So I like this kind of environment for this to have been, my experience with it, because it's been fun. And, obviously challenges in life, but there are challenges in everything. But I think the excitement of this project and us all working together and it being a student film, because it is a student film, I think that's what is the most exciting, is actually just the process of doing it, not just making the film, but going through the whole kind of course together. I think that would be the most exciting thing for me. I was a little I don't know if I can say that. I was a very smart child, and I was often the child who would do everything, all the work, in 5 minutes, and then I would just distract all the other students, or I would get into trouble, or I'd do things that maybe I shouldn't be doing. And when a teacher would say, I told you not to do this, I'd be like, no, you told me I couldn't do this, but you didn't say I couldn't do this, so I did this. And So I found a lot of loopholes. I always found like another way to kind of get what I wanted, in a way that I couldn't really get into trouble, which I think just added to, you know, they thought, what are we gonna do with this child? Like, you know, she keeps outsmarting us. That was me. I was trying to think of this. I think adult-wise, it probably is Mrs. Arden, which I think adds into kind of the challenge of trying to play a character and trying to do it in a way that's different to you. Because I think sometimes we can often like go for roles where we're like, oh, I know how to do that because that's me in everyday life. But trying to find new ways to create this character. But I think in terms of the students, I think, do you know, I probably would be either one of the boys, be like Ollie, or Christopher, just causing a lot of trouble, getting up to lots of mischief, and I think they get away with it as well. So I think I'd definitely be one of the mischief making boys in the dynamic duo. Okay, so I am changing the brief slightly because I was originally going to say The Italian Job in 1969 with Michael Caine, but then I thought it frustrated me too much because it literally left on a cliffhanger, literally and figuratively. So then I thought maybe the Fast and Furious franchise, and I think the reason is I just really love a good car chase. And I mean, Fast and Furious there are 7 films, 7 car chases. We won't talk about the very attractive lead actors. They've got nothing to do with that. But the story itself, I really love them. But yeah. Gosh. I'll be planning my 40th birthday. No, I'm not that old. I'll be 37, so I will be older. I'm hoping definitely to still work in the creative environment. I have a lot of fingers in a lot of different pots, so I'd love to still be acting. I write as well, so I'd love to kind of be more of an established writer, and I paint as well, not as good as Hannah Harklett. I mean, nothing right now. So I work full time, and I just finished a double BA, so I've been very, very busy. But I finished the BAs, and so I've been auditioning for a few other things. So making it through to like second round auditions and etc. And but nothing. I mean, it's been a long time. So I'm just kind of enjoying the process and not trying to rush it. And we'll see how this goes. Prom Fever, obviously it's going to go very well. We're going to win Oscars. Maybe not Oscars, but you know, we'll see. And but yeah, I think it was just kind of stepping my foot back into the pond again, seeing whether or not I liked it, and whether or not, because I think when I was younger I maybe wasn't doing it for the right reasons. Not that they were wrong reasons, but I think coming back into this is a bit older, a bit more mature, and knowing actually I love this, I want to do this. So that's what being on this course has actually reminded me of, like how much I love acting and how much I love this creative environment and how much I've missed it, I think. So definitely when we're done, like not a new outlook on life, because that hasn't changed, but I think I'll be able to kind of repurpose my energy and attention into, you know, from kind of like corporate worlds and studies into, you know, creativity and entertainment. I think I always planned on doing it. So I actually, sub story, I went trekking in the Himalayas and I got really sick. So I got altitude sickness up in one of the peaks, which it worked out, but it did put a lot of strain on my respiratory system. And when I came back, I was working hospitality because that's what you do when you're working in a big city, trying to make it in the bright lights. But I was working like 16-hour days, and I couldn't recover, and my respiratory system collapsed, and I was on bed rest and steroids to kind of get that to function again. I told you it was a sad story, but no, and I just kind of thought, actually, I'll go back and get a degree in writing as well, because that's what I want to do as well. And this is the perfect time to kind of give myself the chance to recover. And then when I'm done, like, kind of think about, the person I want to be and what I want to do. And so the plan was always to come back. Yeah, I think I come from Canberra, capital of Australia, which no one seems to know or care about. But it didn't really have a good, I guess, support for acting. I think it has a much better one now, but it didn't really have that. And I think it kind of left me very lost as a young person, trying to get into acting and the industry. I think particularly as well, transitioning from theatre to film, because it was really difficult. I know a lot of people in the film industry in Australia, and they kind of have a certain set of people that they work with, or when you get the big kind of productions come over from the States or the UK, they kind of go to the same people over and over. I kind of had finally started to break through, but then I moved to the UK and I lost all of my network. And as anyone will tell you, your network is a big part of your work in the industry. Not just who you know for why you know them, but because you get on well together, you work together, you know how each other works and how committed and dedicated you are. And when you come to a different country, no one knows anything about you. They don't know your reputation. They don't know. So that was tough. And I think as well in Australia, I have very pale skin. And until recently, I've been an auburn haired girl. So that's a bit unusual in Australia. So coming to the UK as well was not a great thing, because there are a lot of girls that look just like me. So yeah, I think those are the kind of top challenges. I think it comes with a lot of sacrifices, pursuing this. Well, any job, if you want to be good at it, if you want to be successful, you'll have to make sacrifices. And I think it's knowing that it's okay to make sacrifices, and that I think a lot of people sometimes feel like they can't say no to their friends or no to this or that if it's saying yes to something for themselves. And I feel like, while you shouldn't be an arrogant, selfish person, I think sometimes it's okay to say, no, actually, I'm doing something for myself, and you need to understand that. But also yourself understanding that there are going to be sacrifices you have to make that are going to maybe be painful for you, or you're not going to be able to go to a party on Friday night because you've got to be up at the crack of dawn to get onto set. And it's not that it's unfair, that's what you have to do sometimes to succeed. It's going to be hard, but if you love it, you won't feel like it's difficult. I definitely feel the difference between, my day job, I'll work really hard, and I love giving a good job, and I feel like I've earned that, glass of wine on a Friday. But when I'm working in film, I just love it. I would just not sleep. Sometimes I just forget, what time it is because I'm busy doing something, but because I'm so happy doing it. But yeah, you're going to sacrifice a lot of sleep. I think is probably the number one thing you're going to sacrifice.